What's up, guys? It's your girl and I'm back with another video. Listen, I'm on here and I am just cracking up. And I'm cracking up for a few reasons. I'm cracking up at myself because I think that at this point I have the problem. You have a problem when you continuously surround yourself with people who are manipulative, when you know people are just not loyal, when you know people are just not in the same space mentally as you. And I think that I'm gonna start this video by saying, like, I'm not doing any more videos addressing this, and I was not. Honestly, the plan was not to even talk about each other on each other's channels, as stated, right? We were not going there anymore. And honestly, before I get into the video, I want to let y'all know that nothing that has happened is stuff that is non-human. Like, people break up, they talk, they do all these things, right? And but what I mean by loyalty is that people will tell you, right? And I'm a loyal person, like, and honestly, the problem with me is that I have a huge heart and I really see things from many perspectives. So I let people tell me things and I respect it. So people, what people tend to do is when they get angry, when they know that they did something wrong, they tend to be the first one to try to run and expose themselves, because they feel like, yo, oh, we just argued and I know she just said she about to expose me, but I'm gonna expose myself so everybody could, so I could fall victim, right? And so it looks like this person is such the bad guy. And people know, how many times do you say something to your child and they like, it's because I'm dumb, it's because I'm stupid, I know I made the mistake, it's because and it's like, are you taking account? Phone, my storage is low, but it's like, are you taking accountability, or are you getting on here making it seem like, oh, let me tell them all the bad things I did so that they don't hear nothing else that comes out of my mouth? First of all, when it comes to the explanation of a situation, if you skip over certain parts, people are going to perceive it a certain way. So following the event that happened when we initially started arguing, it was never a long paragraph. That's not what happened. We continued to go back and forth. It was long paragraphs from both of us. Actually, the first long paragraph came from her at 10 something at night. So after we argued that day, she sent this long paragraph about don't play with her on the internet and all this other stuff. That's where the first long paragraph came from. Secondly, we continued to argue and actually kept arguing, right? And then I did send a long paragraph the next day, but it was not a long paragraph in terms of like, oh my God, take me back, invite me to the spot club. It was not a long paragraph in terms of that. It was genuinely nothing to do with where she was going, where I was going, inviting myself nowhere, telling us to link up. It was genuinely a long paragraph because I felt like I needed to get this off my chest in order to have proper closure, because I felt betrayed and I felt hurt, and I felt like I needed to let this person know, like, beyond this internet stuff, you really hurt me. First of all, that was 4 years down the drain of a lot of things that made me feel like, damn, throughout these years, I did not know this person was this person. So let me tell them, like, why they really making me feel weird. Like, dang, I missed that. I missed that part of you that made me even get this far. Like, if I would have seen this part of you, I wouldn't even have gotten this far. That was that long paragraph. So we went back and forth again. Yeah, we went back and forth, and these are paragraphs about us blaming each other and going back and forth and arguing. After we went back and forth, she sent a message. Well, she said, tell Toot to call me, which is here. And then the conversation continued again. And then when she told me about the spa club, we had conversation and was in a regular space, but it was not because we addressed anything. It's not because we decided to be together or anything like that. It wasn't because of the long message I sent. The way that it was mentioned in the video was as if I sent the long message, we rekindled and went to the spot club. No, she sent the long message, we argued. The next day I sent the long message, we argued. Then she sent a message saying to tell Kyra to call her, and then a conversation sparked from then. After us arguing the 450th time, the way the conversation sparked is at 4:50 something a.m. She sent the message and said she's sorry that I'm hurting, and something about being able to heal my pain. And then I also apologized, and then the conversation happened from then. after we finished talking, she told me about the spa club, and then I ended up going with her. Now, here's the problem. The problem is not whether or not, here's the problem for me, because I don't know what's the problem for y'all, anybody else, but here's the problem for me. The problem is not the fact that we went back and forth and then we started speaking again. That's regular life. I don't care about nobody on the internet can sit here and tell me that they don't go through stuff with their significant other, their situationship, whatever it is. People go through worse stuff. That's not what I'm concerned about. What really got me is the fact that, like, even during the spa club time, like, I had so much respect for this girl saying, like, I don't want to post it on the internet. We're not together. We're not gonna put each other in the camera because I just feel like I don't want to come out that way. The next time we come out, we have to come out and know in a clear direction because it's confusing or whatever. Like, so the next time we come out, we not gonna make it seem like we just said all of that on the internet and now we popped up at the spa club. And it makes sense, right? We don't want to confuse y'all. And we're at the spa club and we didn't rekindle anything. We didn't have a conversation. We didn't decide on being together. We just ended up here. She invited me and I went. And again, she didn't invite me because it was a promo. She already had invited somebody, and then she wanted me to go, decided to invite me, and then I decided to accept the offer. I went there, and she made it clear about not being in the camera. I said, go ahead, do your thing. This your promo anyways. And I didn't make it a big deal. That same day is when I was going to Atlantic City. And when I was going to Atlantic City, I was packed. Me and my son was already going. Me and my dog was already going. One of my friends, Vonnie, even went because she was, she even invited herself. Like, she knew I was going by myself. She invited herself. She went. I didn't say anything. Shamit also invited herself. I didn't say anything. I wasn't making it a big deal. I went with you to the spa club. I'm not making it a big deal. We still didn't rekindle anything. We still didn't talk about being together. We were genuinely, she said she was coming. Again, she didn't want to be in the camera. I respected it, bro. Like, however you want to present to your platform and bring it back to fruition, I was loyal enough to say, listen, I'm not going to put this girl on the camera. Y'all saw the first time when she was around me and she tried to play that. I put her on the camera, even on my Instagram. I said, she's right here. She's trying to front for y'all because I didn't even know at that time she was even telling y'all that she wasn't around me. This was before I even knew anything about it. And I put her on the camera because I'm like, you're not going to be around me telling me that you're not going to be in the camera. Nah, if you around me, you're around me. But this time I really respected it, bro. I'm like, this is her platform. I want her to be able to have creative control over how she want to put things out. And I felt mad loyal, bro. Like, and that's what's killing me. Because it's like, dang. So you could tell people what you don't want out. But when I tell you I'm not okay with that being posted, I'm controlling. Make it make sense. So you can tell me and I don't make it, and then the excuse is, well, I didn't put a gun in your head and tell you to get on camera, or I didn't make you not post it. I just told you and you agreed. Wow. Because that's what friends do. That's what people who loyal to each other do. If I know that something don't sit right with you in terms of, like, I don't want to post it yet because I want to come out a certain way, and when I come out, I want it to be, I want us to be either all the way in a relationship or all the way with a plan, and I don't want to come out looking crazy. And I say I respect it, but the only time you bring all these things out is when we argue, and I tell you, like, oh, just like you want to go against something I'm asking you not to do because I know that this is not our reality, and that because we're on a camera arguing, I don't want every video that you post in is us arguing. Like, I don't want to be on the camera if you're doing that. Yeah, so what? We were vlogging, and in the midst, we started arguing. And again, this is the same thing that happened the other day. We were arguing, but the argument didn't start at the point that she started vlogging. So if listen to what I'm saying. If you're arguing with somebody and they turn on the camera at a certain point only, of course you're not going to want to be in the camera, because why you ain't get what led up to me being this way? You just putting me on the camera when I'm already furious. But we tried to do that video many times before that video even was actually raw and unedited. The raw version wasn't there because the raw version happened plenty of times before it even really happened, because we had mad distractions. But every time she got on this camera, she started saying, like, oh, she was weak at her knees, she was all of this. And I was already explaining in the room before we got interrupted the first time when the camera was on, like, no, that's not why we're here. I wasn't weak at my knees. I was definitely hurt, but I was trying to explain to her the reason why I was hurt, and she kept trying to tell me why that's not the reason. And it was just like, well, you can't tell me what I meant by the way I was hurt. So by then, when we got on that camera, and it already started bad by her saying, like, let me make this clear. I stand on what I stand on. So since the camera's already rolling, now I'm getting furious because it's like, what are you talking about? You still stand on what you stand on. We wasn't even talking about any of that. Like, you so busy trying to protect an image that you trying to make it clear to somebody who don't care about all of that. Like, they not even here yet. They just see us in the front of the camera, and we supposed to be telling them how we called you and how we didn't make a decision on being together yet, which is fine. But you start off with the negativity already. Like, oh, let me tell you, I'm clear on what I stand on, and I still stand on what I stand. It's like, why are we going there? So from the moment in the room when we first started recording, and she started saying I was weak in the knees and stuff, and we was going back and forth about like what I was saying in terms of being weak in the knees and what I was hurt about. When you cut on that camera again and started saying I stand on what I stand on and all of that, making it seem like it was like this negative thing, I just felt the whisk of negative energy, and it's like, that's not what I thought we was coming on here for. So then when she mentioned me being weak in the knees again, it made me feel like, all right, you coming on your platform to make it seem like we're in this space right now because I was so hurt and I was so weak on the knees, and that's not what happened. I was hurt. I was hurt in terms of a lot of things. I was hurt because I felt like things that you did was not something that a friend would do. I was hurt because I felt like you really be on this internet posting what you want to post. And then when I say something, I'm controlling. And you also try to put up a facade of who I am, but you only post when I get to those moments. You don't post behind the scenes of when I was happy and when, or what led up to those moments. And so I feel like you funny for that. Like, and it's me being dumb because now, yeah, it's my moment to play victim. It's me being dumb for knowing who a person is and still surrounding myself with them knowing who this person is. But the problem with me is that I don't think too hard about stuff when it comes to people. Like, you around me? Okay, no problem. Genuinely, even in AC, I was with my son a lot and like just interacted with my son a lot because she was on a gambling floor. So it's like, we were interacting and we had a moment, but we was also there for one night. We also had a friend there. So how long do you think that moment lasts? Not long. Also, it was really, really not that type of timing. When we went to the spa club, the same thing. However, the only thing I felt like was like, you told me not to post these things. I didn't make that decision, but I agreed to it. So when I agreed to get on camera, because I think we're about to talk about something positive, and then it turns into something negative because of the direction it started going in, and I say, all right, I wouldn't have said I was going to be on camera if it would have led to this, and you still choose to say, I'm posting whatever because of that. Mind you, before we even got on camera, she asked me like 4 times, like, oh, you want to get on camera with me? Out of nowhere, after saying that she didn't want to be on camera, because she also said I didn't post a video on mad long or whatever. So she know what she ended off at, and she wanted to start in that space with y'all. And so it's like, oh, I think this was going to be a positive video. We around each other. We've been around each other. It's been positive. Like, we chilling. I just did a video on my mom and them. Even in that video, when I did a video on my mom and them, she was telling me, oh, don't say her name. Even my dad made a comment of it like, oh, because we can't say Jasmine's name. Like, and everybody respecting that. But when we get on camera and it don't go right, and I say like, I don't want to keep any channel for negative things. It's, you're mad controlling. I'm going to post what I want, and I'm going to say what I want. And this is what I'm talking about. You're a narcissist, and you're... What? I'm controlling because I'm just telling you that, like, I don't want to keep being on your camera in a negative light. And it looks like, and that's why I was furious in the video, because I'm like, dang, why every time I come on the camera or it's something involving me, it has to be like a negative thing? Like, why are we going in that... oh, I stand on what I stand on. Oh, you was weak in the knees. Like, why do it got to be exposing me in a negative way all the time? So if y'all don't see a problem with that, that's fine. I don't want y'all to see a problem with that, but I'm just genuinely addressing, like, that's not... It's... The grass is not always green on the other side. Let me put it that way. But I also made the executive decision to no longer engage with that person. And it's nothing to do with anything but the fact that, like, yo, I learned that it's just not, we're not in a space to be that, and that's fine.